وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُطْفَةً فِي قَرَارٍ مَكِينٍ ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا النُّطْفَةَ عَلَقَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْعَلَقَةَ مُضْغَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْمُضْغَةَ عِظَامًا فَكَسَوْنَا الْعِظَامَ لَحْمًا ثُمَّ أَنشَأْنَاهُ خَلْقًا آخَرَ فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ لَمَيِّتُونَ ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ تُبْعَثُونَ.
In substance, the Quran describes not only the development of external form, but emphasizes also the internal stages, the stages inside the embryo of its creation and development, emphasizing major events recognized by contemporary science. Thankful for your attention.
In the Holy Quran, God speaks about the stages of man's embryonic development. We created man from an extract of clay, then we made him as a drop in a place of settlement, firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into an alaqah, means leech, suspended thing, and blood clot. Then we made the alaqah into a mudghah, chewed substance. Literally, the Arabic word alaqah has three meanings. First, leech; second, suspended thing; and the third, blood clot. In comparing a leech to an embryo in the alaqah stage, we find similarity between the two, as we can see in the figure 1. Also the embryo at this stage obtains nourishment from the blood of the mother, similar to the leech which feeds on the blood of others. The second meaning of the word alaqah is suspended thing. This is what we can see in the figures 2 and 3, the suspension of the embryo during the alaqah stage in the womb of the mother. The third meaning of the word alaqah is blood clot. We found that the external appearance of the embryo and its sex during the alaqah stage is similar to that of a blood clot. This is due to the presence of relatively large amounts of blood present in the embryo during this stage. Also during this stage, the blood in the embryo does not circulate until the end of the third week. Thus, the embryo at this stage is like a clot of blood. So the three meanings of the word alaqah correspond accurately to the descriptions of the embryo at the alaqah stage. The next stage mentioned in the verse is the mudghah stage. The Arabic word mudghah means chewed substance. If one were to take a piece of gum and chew it in his or her mouth, and then compare it with an embryo at the mudghah stage, we would conclude that the embryo at the mudghah stage acquires the appearance of a substance chewed. This because of the somates at the back of the embryo that somewhat resemble teeth marks chewed in substance. How could Muhammad have possibly known of this 1,400 years ago, when scientists have only recently discovered this using advanced equipment and powerful microscopes which did not exist at that time. Ham and Leeuwenhoek were the first scientists to observe human sperm cells, spermatozoa, using an improved microscopes in 1977, more than 1,000 years after Muhammad. They mistakenly thought that the sperm cell contained a miniature preformed human being that grew when it was deposited in the female genital tract. Professor Emeritus Keith L. Moore is one of the world's most prominent scientists in the fields of anatomy and embryology, and is the author of the book entitled The Developing Human, which has been translated into 8 languages. This book is scientific reference work and was chosen by a special committee in the United States as the best book authored by one person. Dr. Keith Moore is Professor Emeritus of Anatomy and Cell Biology at the University of Toronto, Canada. There, he was Associate Dean of Basic Science at the Faculty of Medicine, and for 8 years was the chairman of the Department of Anatomy. In 1984, he received the most distinguished award presented in the field of anatomy in Canada, and J.C. Bigran Award from Canadian Association of Anatomists. He has directed many international associations, such as Canadian and American Association of Anatomists and the Council of the Union of Biological Science. In 1981, during the 7th Medical Conference in Daman, Saudi Arabia, Professor Moore said, "It has been a great pleasure for me to help clarify statements in the Quran about human development. It is clear to me that these statements must have come to Muhammad from God, because all of this knowledge was not discovered until many centuries later. This proves to me that Muhammad must have been a messenger of God." Consequently, Professor Moore was asked the following question: "Does this mean that you believe that Quran is the word of God?" He replied, "I find no difficulty in accepting this." During one conference, Professor Moore stated, "Because the staging of the human embryos is complex, owing to the continuous process of change during development, it is proposed that a new system of classification could be developed using these terms mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. The proposed system is simple, comprehensive, and conforms with present embryological knowledge. The intensive studies of the Quran and Hadith, reliably transmitted reports by the Prophet Muhammad's companions of what he said, did, or proof of the last 4 years have revealed a system for classifying human embryos that is amazing, since it was recorded in the 7th century. Although Aristotle, the founder of the science of embryology, realized that chick embryos develop in stages from these studies of hen's egg in the 4th century BC, he did not give any details about these stages. As far as it is known from the history of embryology, little was known about the staging and classification of human embryos until the 20th century. For this reason, the descriptions of human embryo in the Quran cannot be based on scientific knowledge in the 7th century. The only reasonable conclusion is these descriptions were revealed to Muhammad from God. He could not have known such details because he was an illiterate man with absolutely no scientific training.